Hello and welcome to the show. That's right, it's Thursday and we're cooking today in the kitchen of Simply Too Good headquarters. First of all, I want to say to everybody that's in lockdown, I'm sending you lots of love and care and hope you're doing okay. You know, we'll get through these difficult times together, but I just wanted to send you extra love today, and I hope that my show will lift your day a little bit today. And, you know, it's good to be able to have something to do, isn't it? But for everybody else, welcome too. And we're going to make a recipe out of book 4 today. This is the one we're doing. That's right. Honey prawn stir fry. Look at that picture, isn't it amazing? And this is just a fabulous stir fry and so much healthier than the traditional Chinese version. So that's what we're making today. But before we get into all the ingredients, let's talk about the show last week, which was Penang chicken. Now, we had 3 fabulous winners from the show. That's Christine Robinson, Mandy Flevel, and Sandy Bourne, sorry. Well, they all getting a personally signed copy of one of the cookbooks. They were choosing between book 4 and Cooking from the 2 at the moment. So you could win, so stay tuned for later in the show. So the ingredients we need for this fabulous honey prawn stir fry. Now, of course, we need prawns. So there's 400 grams, and I say in the recipe green prawns, and that what it means is raw. So depending on what you go. Now I'm going to show you, first of all, if you're going, oh Annette, why did you pick a prawn recipe? I don't like prawns. Well, don't worry, because you can make it with pork or chicken. That's right, chicken honey stir fry. Fabulous. I'll tell you about it later. So this is the prawns that we use because we love prawns, and so I get this in Woolies, and it's a kilo bag and it's just caught. But what I love about it is they're peeled and deveined. Thank you, because that makes life so much easier for sure, because there's nothing worse than having to, you know, clean out and get that. Okay, so it's all done for you, so quick, easy, fabulous. So I just thought I'd show you that. Now, Bill, do you want to put that back in the freezer, because we don't want to wreck those prawns because we'll be cooking later. Now, the ingredients we need is carrots, snow peas, broccoli, as I said, the prawns, 400 grams, garlic, ginger. Now, of course, you know I'm using the jar, but you can use fresh if you want. Shallots. We're going to use a cup of water here. Corn flour, soy sauce, and it's the low salt soy sauce. The Marcel stock powder, and we're using the chicken. We've got 1/3 cup of honey, and I really like the yellow box because it's a lower GI honey, so that's really a good thing for you. As well as I've got my toasted sesame seeds here. I've toasted them ahead of the show just to save time. So I reckon we can start chopping. What do you think? So I'm going to start. Let's do the carrots first. We want 1.5 cups. Now I've sort of washed the carrots ahead of time. So I'm not going to peel them, but because they're fantastic. Let me use the bigger knife. So what you do, let me move it. I'm a bit crowded in here. Thanks for joining me. If you're just tuning in, we're making honey prawn stir fry from book 4. That's right. So what we do is with the carrots, you're going to cut them down the middle, and this way they're a little bit smaller because carrots are things that take the longest. And then you might remember I actually showed you this on the show last week, where you cut on the angle, and it's just to give it a little bit of an oriental look to it. And we want 1.5 cups. Now this is enough for 4. It's a complete meal. You've got your proteins and your veggies. You know, you could have rice or noodles with it. We always have the basmati rice, and it's just a really healthy way to go when traditionally it's a very high fat dish. So we want 1.5 cups. So let's just put it in. I hope you're doing well, everybody. It's just been crazy times, and I just feel like we've just got to stay, as I said, we've got to stay strong with it. And my quote for this year, I always have a quote for the year, I don't know why, but I just do it. When I started the year, was I intuitively thought it was going to be, it is what it is. And I reckon I use it Don't I, Bill? I probably say it every day about something. Oh, it's crazy. But I'm so glad that I can be here on a Thursday with you. And hope I bring a little bit of fun and joy to your day, plus healthy, fabulous ideas. All right, let's have a look how we're going here. 1.5 I want. So I always, as you know, I have my routine, you should know it by now, is what are we doing? We're prepping everything up first. So is this the bowl? Yes. So I've got my carrots. Look, I only needed 2 carrots. Now we're going to do the broccoli, and we want 1 cup. So, and it's florets. So when it's a floret, it means, well, this is a floret, of course. This is the floret, but you can't put that on a chopstick. That's just way too big. So just chop it up into smaller serves. I like to keep the stalk on my broccoli because it's so good for you. So we want 1 cup. Now, as I said, you can make this with pork, 500 grams of beautiful pork, or you could do chicken breast, 500 grams of chicken. Now, the fat count for this dish is so low, you will just be amazed when I tell you. All right, so that I'm going to put that on top there because the carrot and the broccoli are going to be cooked at the same time. I've actually cut the shallots up ahead because we thought I don't want to be taking too much time out of your day, so that's ready. Now with the snow peas, we're going to cut them in half because I find a whole one like that's a lot to put in your mouth, so we want to be a bit ladylike here. But to prepare them, you have to peel them first like this, taking that little string, pull it off, very quick and easy, like that. You don't want to leave it on. There we go. I've done the rest. I just thought I'd show you. And now what we'll do is, as I've done, I've cut these all in half. And so and I do it on the angle as well. And snow peas are done. So now what we've got to do is prep up the prawns, because as I said, I've already toasted the sesame seeds ahead just good, but all you have to do with them is I'd put it in your pan just really quickly for a few minutes and brown them, or under the grill. But be very mindful when you're got them in the pan or under the grill, because they really can brown quite quickly. All right, so everything's done there, but let me show you how to butterfly your prawn. Now, the other thing I love about that brand of prawns that I showed you in the beginning is there's no tail on the end, because I really find that really messy when you've got to pull it off. And I mean, there's a lot of prawns in here because they're just that nice size. So when I say butterfly, first of all, you could actually cook them just like this if you wanted. You know, it doesn't matter, but they can be quite firm when they're not opened up. And so what you do to open them up, and I call it butterflying, is you cut down the back, not all the way through though, and down. And that way it will open up like a little butterfly. Let me do a few more for you so you see what I mean. And see how these are great because they have been deveined. But if you have prawns that haven't been, this is where you'd go in and scoop out whatever, you know, muck is in there. I always wonder what the right thing to call it. Is it a vein? Is it a poo shoot? I don't know. What do you call it? What do you call it, Billy? This bit in here when you sometimes get those black bits. He says a vein. Yeah. All right, so now, as I said, once again, sharp knife, just go down the back, not going all the way through. Oh, I can see it's looking a bit fabulous. Let's do a couple more, and I think I've done all the rest. It doesn't take long. I think these are all done. Yep. So I've been a little bit busy pre the show, just so I could be organised. Are we good? We don't need this anymore. I'll just put this in the soapy sink. Wash my hands. And let's get cooking. All right. So what we're going to do first is the protein. Always cook the protein first and then take it out. With the stir fry, you know, years ago everyone would just cook it in the whole time, and so you'd get these really hard, tasteless meat and prawns and that because they've just been overcooked. So spray with the rice bran because that's the right one for the neoflam. We're going to put in half a teaspoon of garlic and ginger. So this is ginger. If you want to use fresh, you can, please. I'm just lazy and I just want it easy and quick. Everything about my life, I like it to be quick. Okay, and now what we do then is we're going to start putting the prawns in. So don't just throw the whole lot in because they're very cold. Just a few at a time. And this is enough for 4 people. So if you were doing the pork, you would be dicing it, same with the chicken, and you'd be doing it in at this point. And you want 500 grams. Prawns is 400, but the chicken and the pork is 500. So that's, I don't need this again. Wash my hand. And I want to stir up that garlic and ginger and bring it into the prawns. Now, prawns do take very little time to cook. And they go orange or a beautiful red colour. So that's what's fun about prawns. And once they're cooked, once they're just cooked, I will remove them and then we'll start cooking the veggies. So I'd have my rice on because, you know, you'll be waiting for it if you don't do it as soon. Hello, if you've just joined me, yes, my wok's out again this week. We're going to China and we're doing the honey prawn stir fry from book 4. Now, traditionally, they would have these prawns battered. Oh, I can remember my days when I used to love them and they'd be greasy, and I wonder why I didn't always feel good after I ate Chinese. And I think it was the MSG as well. But they will batter the chicken and the pork, and this way you're going to do it fresh, and that way the flavours of that protein will come out much better. You're not just having, you know, and they always use very cheap quality because they're battering it, so that they batter it, deep fry it, and then in a honey prawn recipe they will put a lot of honey in. So not only is it high fat, it's got lots of extra sugar and calories. Okay, that looks fabulous. All right, so our prawns are done. And now see, they're beautiful. Oh, they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And they're going to stay like that because I'm only going to put them back in at the very end. So hopefully I don't forget them. I get too excited sometimes and think, oh, what have I missed? Like last week's show, I nearly missed the coconut essence. Now, spray. And now what I've done, and I want to give you this tip, I'm going to do the veggies now, and you're supposed to have a cup of water, but I don't want to mess up, so I'm going to do the 1/4 cup now, because you could just have that in there and pour a quart in, but I'd be worried that I'd forget and throw the whole cup of water in, and that's not right. This is going to help cook the carrots and the broccoli. So instead of putting in a 1/4 cup of oil, which is what the Chinese do, I do the water, and it just helps cook and keep them crunchy and fabulous, and just takes a few minutes to cook. Now I'm actually serving this for dinner, so I don't want to overcook my veggies because they will soften a bit more, you know, till tonight. So if you're making them right and then going to eat it, then you make sure you keep your veggies how you want. You know, some people like the veggies really crunchy, like really hard, and others people like me, I just like them a little bit crispy, because I just don't know about overcooked veggies when it comes to stir fries. I just don't like it. So just up to you, you cook your veggies how you like. So I'm going to go ahead now and put in the shallots. I probably would have cooked this a little bit longer, but because it's going to sit in its juices for quite a few hours, I want to keep them so they're not overcooking. So I'm going to put in the shallots, and I've actually even cut the shallots on an angle as well. bless me, I do like an angle when it comes to Chinese. All right, so in goes a half a cup of shallots. So we did 1/2 cups of carrots, and this, we need to measure this to make sure, because it's 1.5 cups. So let's do it, because I didn't do that, because I was guessing it. Oh, actually, I think, Bill's saying that he measured it for me. Bless you, Dal. I wasn't sure when I did it. All right, so in we go. Carrots are in, broccoli's in, ginger, garlic, and now we've put in the shallots and the snow peas. You could do sugar snaps if you wanted for something a little different. And this is where my wok, my gosh, this Neoflam wok is just so fabulous, isn't it? Look at the beautiful veggies, how fabulous they slide around in this non-stick pan. But I love it too, because it just means I can throw everything around, and that's how I roll in the kitchen. I'm all about quick, quick, quick. All right, so we're cooking them. Now what we have to do is make our sauce. So there's my gorgeous prawns. You can just wait there, people. We're not ready for you yet. So traditionally, this would be so high in fat, don't even go there. My way, you're welcome, 1.7 grams of fat. Isn't that fabulous? And if you did it with the pork or chicken, it would be 3.1. So still super fabulous. All right, so we want a teaspoon. I'll get a dry teaspoon. Go down if you've got them to the one. We want 1 teaspoon of stock powder. We want a teaspoon of the low salt soy. So put your finger down there when you do it, so you get an accurate teaspoon. And then you're going to put in 2 tablespoons of corn flour. Let me just stir here. Oh, look at this. 2 tablespoons. Put that into the water. And then just beat that up. I've got a cute little whisk here, a little tiny whisk I got in the kitchen shop. Mix that in. And in it goes. Oh, yes. Now what I'm going to put in, and the sesame seeds, I'm going to keep them to, like I did with the nuts on the Penang, I like to put them on the top. So you could just throw that all in now if you wanted, but I'm going to sprinkle on the top because I think it just looks a bit more fabulous. And the main ingredient, drum roll please, here we go, is 1/3 cup of honey. And yellow box is a really good low GI one. So for people with diabetes, this is the ideal honey for you. Don't know whether you knew that, but it is recommended for people with diabetes because it's slower released into your system. Yes. So I'm just scooping out all this beautiful golden nectar from our lovely Aussie bees. There we go. Get that last bit in there. Stir that all through. Oh, yes. And what's left to go in? Yes, our prawns. There we go. Oh my gosh. I mean, look at this. It is just so fabulous, fresh, healthy, but overall the most important part of it is it's delicious. Yes. And how hard did I work? Yeah, no, didn't do much at all. All right, so I'm just mixing that honey in, so I've got it coating everything. Well, let that bring to the boil. So let's plate it up. Move it over here. I've got another fabulous bowl for you. Oh yes. Let's spoon up the honey prawn stir fry. Oh, I mean, please, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy cooking this way? This is enough for 4, So there you go. 1.7 grams of guilt-free fat. So what do we do now? You've got the tablespoon, so you just want to grab some sesame seeds, sprinkle over the top for each of the serves. Oh, yum. And you have dinner. Boom, we're done. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh, I love it so much. Now, if you would like to win the recipe book that this is in, the honey prawn stir fry, it's in, yes, book 4. I think it looks like the picture. All you have to do is like, share, and then don't forget in the comments, you write hashtag simply with a Y, too good. Now, if you write that into the comments, then I can pick you, hopefully next week, to win the book. 3 winners, hashtag simply too good. And there you go. All right, so now what's on next week's show? Well, you'll be excited because we're doing some cookies. That's right, we're going into book 1 and we're making the ultimate biscuit, crunchy cookies. They are fabulous. So please stay tuned for next week. This would be a great one for the kids to join in on the show, and they can learn how to make healthy cookies. Especially if they're in lockdown, this means that they can class it as a home ec session, and you don't have to, maybe you don't have to teach them for a little bit. Oh look, I really feel for all the parents out there trying to be teachers as well. Bless your little hearts. Stay safe, everybody. Now remember, if you'd like more tips or recipes, you just go to the website simplytoogood.com.au. I'll be back next week, no problem at all, with my apron on, ready to cook some cookies. So take care, everybody, and I know I'm excited about dinner tonight. Take care now. Bye.